Hello, everyone, and welcome to Red Valkyrie Presents. I'm, of course, Shae the Red, still rocking it solo. This hopefully will be the last time. Everybody go blame Sai. Uh, but I'm, of course, here with our very good friend, Mr. Joshua Plack. How you doing, sir?
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. Two books at the same time. Very nice. I just noticed that at the bottom. So, clearly we're here because you have How to Die too, and I just say the image in the background that you have there is probably my favorite out of everything I've seen. It is so cool. She looks so sexy and terrifying at the same time, and honestly, I think it's just gonna lead straight into the cosplay reveal. So we're just gonna do that real quick. Let's
Woo!
see. This is, and then we switch that, and here we go.
Metamorphosis completed, sir.
Shae the Red.
Has now become
Awesome.
Yeah.
This took a lot more work than I was expecting.
The blue looks
But
great.
thank you. I tried very hard. I even edited a picture that has me pulling the same look, although not as cool as her, clearly, because she's far superior. But yeah, I loved it, and I really wanted to do something with latex and prosthetics, and this is
Nice.
such a fun, I did so much work that you can't even tell because it's not in person. I've got where did it go? There's this stuff that is like 3D gel that you have to heat up in boiling water, and then it's really just like super super
And then
sticky
put on
Elmer's
your
glue.
face?
Yeah. Yeah. So you have to you have a very small window between not gonna scald the crap out of you, but hot enough that it'll actually come out of the container. Um it's like the stickiest Elmer's glue I've ever had in my life, and it's all throughout the blue, but you can't tell at all unless you were like here in person.
Well, when you go to take that off, if you want to send me an angry message on Twitter for making you do this, I'll be around.
Yeah, yeah, no problem. I did film the process of getting into this, and for anyone who thinks that prosthetics are quick, this was 3 hours, and I did real. This is basic. This is like super basic stuff when it comes to prosthetics, and this was 3 hours. So I'm just saying, it takes a bit, but yeah, I had fun, and the character is so great. I even put in blackouts for you
Oh,
because
wow.
yeah. Oh, I went all out for you. I also had one of my eyes decide it wasn't gonna have a contact and just threw it out halfway through me getting ready. So
I mean, we're at a point now that this isn't my first time on here, and when I
yeah.
was making this book and I was going through the design process, I was thinking of you.
Oh my
Because
gosh.
I've never been able to deliver. I don't think I've ever been able to deliver on something that'd be really fun to, or you know what I mean, like something for you to cosplay. A lot of
Yeah,
my
I
characters
mean,
are dudes. Um,
yeah. Or
I
like
want,
real basic girls that just have like a little, you love a girl in a hat though. I got to tell you that much
yeah,
cuz I feel like I own a lot more hats because of you.
yeah, sure.
But yeah, I loved this. Was so much fun, and the fact that this is like your one of your main photos that you kind of use to drag everyone in, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I get to do this. Like this is going to be a fucking blast." I am so happy that we're getting Yon for this. And in all honesty, the book looks awesome. It looks super fun. This is such a clever way for you to do the How to Die too with the
Hmm.
slash down and everything. It's so clever. It's so unique, and I'm really excited to hear more about it. So why don't you tell us a little bit about like what How to Die 2 is?
Okay, so the world of How to Die is a world where people are able to unlock superpowers. So we're at the very onset, the very evolution, but
Mm-hmm.
there are rules involved. Um, The first rule is that you can only unlock your powers if it's going to save you from death. So you can't
Ah,
simulate it. You can't, it has to be that moment. You have to be facing down death. And even then, you might not be able to. The second rule is you have to be somebody who has suffered immensely. So the people who are just barely hanging on to what they call life, if they have suffered enough, they will be able to rescue themselves, but only if they know how to die. So
interesting.
Madame Gray here is a young woman who she's homeless. She's going through the onset of schizophrenia, which, for
Ooh.
those that don't know, is when your brain just misfires in interpreting reality. So if you've ever seen a homeless person wearing like a hoodie and a jacket on a 90-degree day, their brain can't even really interpret temperature correctly. So that's why it just doesn't click. So when she faces death, she's able to save herself by turning that ailment into a weapon and like redirecting it outwardly. So now she has the ability to control your perceptions. So what you're seeing on the cover
Wow.
there is that that hot goth chick in the Edwardian getup. That's how she
Mm-hmm.
wants to be seen, but she's giving you a little peek through the fabric of reality to show her the real her, the monstrous her.
That's crazy. That's really an interesting concept. And somebody who from someone who has three schizophrenic aunts. Schizophrenia is a horrifying disorder, and the way that it sets in on people and their break with reality is intense. So seeing you kind of taking that and saying like, yeah, she had this, she's hitting into the right age to like really have schizophrenia take hold. Because you start seeing it at about 16, but it doesn't
Yeah,
actually develop until you're in your mid 20s.
right.
That's when it really sets in and it becomes something that's just it takes over. And I don't know of anyone who can manage schizophrenia without some kind of medication. So not having access to that, being homeless, being on the streets, it's insane the things that end up becoming a reality for them. And I think it's a really interesting take that you're like, hey, we're going to take that break with reality, and that's going to be what she can project out so other people see what she wants them to see, not what is actually there. So they don't see the danger that they're in, they don't see the horror, they don't see the bad parts, they see what she's wanting them to see.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting to encounter anybody who was as familiar with schizophrenia, so I apologize if I
Yes.
was just schizophrenia explaining.
No, you're fine. You're fine because I mean, like I said, I have three schizophrenic aunts, and we've seen them in all plethora. Some of them stayed on their medication and did fine. Some of them, I have an aunt who literally wandered into an active construction site because she thought that she saw God. And so, that when I say like they literally do not understand the dangers that they put themselves in, like that is a legitimate thing. They do not have the same concept of reality as the rest of us, and what they perceive is not what the rest of us would see. So there's massive breaks with it. And it's an interesting take. Like, I mean, you have a lot of movies and stuff that deal with schizophrenia and other mental health issues, like Girl Interrupted, things like that, where people are really kind of making them into horror tropes. And I know a lot of people that get upset by that say, hey, just because I'm schizophrenic doesn't mean like, and for people that get upset, my biggest thing is schizophrenia can be terrifying.
Right.
So I don't feel like, I mean, I have a massive fear of the dark, right? I'm not going to get mad at people for going in and putting all of their horror scenes in dark places like that. It's terrifying to me. That's why they do it. Schizophrenia is terrifying for a lot of the people who not just experience it, but people who see their loved ones experiencing it. So I'm all for horror tropes going down into some of the nitty-gritty truth and twisting that a bit and making it something entirely different. As long as people realize it's obviously this, just because somebody's schizophrenic doesn't mean that they're like this, you know,
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
people with schizophrenia have all different kinds of stuff
Yeah,
going
no, I
on.
mean, I
Same
did a
thing with
fair amount of
bipolar,
I did a fair amount of
everything.
research into it, and I
Mm-hmm.
tried to give it, like you were talking about, like those kind of tropes about it. I tried to, I was trying to express it in the art, which is why
Right.
when you actually, one of the pages that's on here, or actually a couple of them, is her kind of showing somebody what it's like or trying to, and the expression that I tried to use was, it's like walking on the bottom of the ocean. So that
Yep.
page down there, you know it's not that she's hallucinating and thinks that she's on the bottom of the ocean. It's just a handy kind of metaphor for um, that your connection to reality just being bogged down in this. And so you see like the water recedes, and then she kind of comes back to a clearer perception of the world, and then sometimes the water is just rising. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think that that's a good metaphor really for any mental health issues, is that there's so many times where it feels like you are having an out of body experience, or that you are beside yourself, or that you are just struggling to keep just above water, and sometimes you get overwhelmed. But the thing that I think is interesting is the way that you've kind of done this. She's not surprised that she's
Mm,
underwater. Like, she's like, I've been here before. I
yeah,
know this. I know that I will eventually come back out of it. Which is usually the key with somebody who is at least somewhat adjusted to their own mental health issues.
yeah,
But I really like that it's, here she's saying like, hey, I need to just borrow your brain for a second. Don't worry, I'll bring it right back,
yeah,
kind of thing. And she's like, let me just show you my world for like half a second. It'll be fine. You might not do well with this. Like, you might have severe issues. This is my world. I live here. And taking somebody like into her playground, kind of thing.
mm, yeah. Then
Well,
you go and you get a couple hot dogs.
yeah, I mean, cuz what do you do after having, severe mental trauma? You get hungry. That's Look, every time I go to my therapist, when I'm done, I'm like, I need a burger. So that, I feel like that's real.
Yeah, I mean, or you do the nasty on a dumpster.
Oh, no. Nope. Yeah, we're happy that's blurred out. I was wondering. I was like, I'm seeing a leg, and that's all that I can see. So, I'm not gonna ask questions. I don't know what this is. We're just
It's
gonna look.
affectionately known as the beast with two backs.
Oh no. 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 Just, yep, scrolling away. Well, so this is really interesting. And how is this relating to How to Die 1? Like, are they basically just two standalone books in the same universe, or do they kind of correlate with one another?
Well, you can see on this page here, the black ice from the first book is back, where she says, like, this seems relevant. So the black ice is still around. He's still hunting for more people to try and unlock their abilities, and continuing what he was doing in the first book, where he was basically hunting down homeless people and being a serial killer. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but with her, he's taking a slightly different approach. In the first book, he unlocks the abilities of Bishop, the main character. In this book, he's trying something different. He's killed and he's killed and he's killed, and now he wants to have a conversation and see if he can maybe develop an understanding of unlocking people's power. Um, and yeah, taking a more basically pragmatic approach.
Interesting. Interesting. I really like the way that he's kind of shown too, where he's almost like a black ichor
Hmm.
around him at times, and like it, but not every time. Like he looks pretty normal in this bottom panel.
Yeah,
Um, in regard
when
to
when he
that, I mean, he
needs
doesn't
to
look
be,
normal about
basically.
anything else.
Yeah.
But it's almost like he like conjures up that kind of the ichor type for pomp and circumstance. Like, this is when it's gonna suit me for it to really like get the impact that I'm needing. And then it's like, but I can be nicer and like I'll just take it away for a little
Yeah,
bit. We'll have a conversation.
that it's really consistent with the name, the black ice. It's this
Mhm.
thing that like can be absolutely nothing, or it can just send your car careening off the highway. You know what I mean? And you don't know. You don't know until you encounter it.
Interesting. And yeah, as so I'm from Utah. Black ice is like the most fucking dangerous shit you will come across, I swear. Because I've literally hit black ice and done a 360 on an 8-lane highway
Hmm.
with like 5 other cars. Miraculously, we didn't hit, none of us hit anybody. I don't know how that happened, but it was really cool. Um, and if we could never do it again, it'd be fucking
Yeah,
amazing. I've also,
really
and
cool,
like,
really horrifying.
really cool. When I stopped peeing my pants, it was fantastic. Like, hey, nobody hit anybody. We're all still alive. I'm gonna go home and cry in the bathtub now. But hey, we did it. And it's funny that you're like you don't know until you're there because like what we call black ice, it's really just a thin layer of ice. Like, and the reason it's black ice is because it's the thin layer of ice that's on asphalt. But if you really think about it, you hit black ice on sidewalks, on stoops, on stairs, on anything because it's just enough ice for you to lose traction.
Yeah,
And it's like it's so thin that it doesn't even have the chance to have those imperfections that thicker ice gets. So there's literally nothing that is going to grip and save you. I have broken my ass on my stoop. I've broken my ass on stairs. I've broken my ass on sidewalks, and then I've spun out hitting black ice. So it really does. Black ice is almost a misnomer because it makes you think it's only going to happen when you're on asphalt driving, and it's like, oh no, it'll strike you literally anywhere. So it's kind of good. It goes in with this character really well.
yeah. Black
Uh,
ice is the sworn enemy of grandmas everywhere.
yeah, for real, for real. We got a couple of people in the chat. Past Mr. Dan getting a shower. Amanda B says it's going to be a pain to wash off, huh? Yeah. Um, I'm almost considering doing a really quick short of me peeling some of it off because I don't know if you guys have ever used liquid latex. It hurts. I did shave all the baby hair off my face before I did this in an attempt to have it have less to stick to. I don't know if that worked, so we'll find out. Um,
Well, instead of taking it off, you can just keep going and do an awesome Avatar cosplay.
right? Yeah, it'd be oddly textured,
Yeah,
but because these are like edges, like stuff moves. It's really weird when I'm talking because I can feel one pit just keep flapping every
mm.
time my lip moves. Um, but yeah, see, Gordon Goodbrother about the hot dogs. He's like, well, what are you gonna do? Not eat? Like that's fair. Crooked Painter, of course, being their nasty self. Love you to death. Art of Roy says, I like that you commit to each stream's female characters. More credit needs to come your way, RV. Thank you very much, Roy. I appreciate it. And I don't just do female characters, as Mr. Plack is very well aware, since he doesn't normally have a lot of female characters for me to pick from anyway. I will gender bend the crap out of some stuff if I can. Crooked Painter says, Black Ice sounds urban to me. You guys are ridiculous. But yeah, I think that this is really cool. So this is, how many pages is this book?
They're 1 and 2 are 32 each.
Okay. Awesome. And then oh, look at that. Dean James. Oh my gosh, I swear I can say his name. Dean James cover. I feel like this is almost like a misleading cover because it looks like it's going to be just a sweet little woman in her hell beast.
That's fair. I was watching Joe M. Sontag one night, and it was an episode dedicated entirely to our homage covers and how the same comics get homage, or the same covers get homage over and over and over and over again.
Yeah. The Spider-Man one is one of the most iconic ones to be done. I don't even know Spider-Man comics, and
I agreed, and I was like, man, I need to have an homage to the Max and Julie Winters, and yeah,
very cool.
Handed it off to Dean, and he took it from there and did an awesome job.
Yeah. Oh, it looks really good, and it looks like you did a lot of it in color pencil, at least a starburst. I like how it has the organic, traditional art feel to it because that's more kind of what he does as opposed to digital. I just feel like it's really neat to see, especially because so much of the digital art can just feel so
Yeah,
kind of it
flat.
doesn't have the same like emotion behind it. It doesn't have the same textures and feels. It's just something that's there.
Yeah,
um all right, we will go into, well, I guess we'll go into them now. So you have your rewards. Obviously, this is over on Kickstarter. For anyone who doesn't know, it is pinned up in the chat as well. But let's go through what rewards people can get if they're backing you.
cool. Yeah. Great. Oh, sorry. Was this you or me?
You. We'll
Oh,
go
okay.
through.
Yeah. Digital copy. It's sent out in a very sturdy PDF file.
Yeah.
For for $8.
Good thickness.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's a nice thick PDF.
Grab that physical copy for 15, and you'll get the physical and the digital.
Very
Um,
nice.
the digital catch-up tier, where you're going to get both books as PDFs. Oh, sorry, I should add, if anybody has ever bought a book from me before, I have your email and I keep it in an email list. If anybody gets a copy of book 2, you're automatically going to get a physical copy of book 1. So you don't have to worry about the catch-up tier. So you just get book 2, and you get a free copy of book 1 just to get caught up.
Oh, very nice.
But yeah, we got a print bundle there. It comes with a physical copy of book 2, and you're going to get a nice art print of the Dean James Max homage. There is a physical catch-up tier where you can just get a copy of both issues, both 1 and 2, for $25. If you just want both variants of book 2, we got you covered. We got a bundle in there. And then it's just kind of mixing and matching like the other tiers. So catch-up print bundle, you're going to get both copies physical plus the print. And the digital library for $35 is everything I've ever created. So you're getting, I think at this point, it's got to be pushing like between 300 and 400 pages of comics with How Did I 1 and 2, Eudaimonia 1 and 2, and Noirlum. We got a all covers tier where you get books 1 and 2 with the Dean James variant. And then we have a sketch tier where you're going to get a full page character sketch. It's going to be a mix of characters, so not everybody can get Madame Gray. But if you end up not getting Madame Gray, I'm happy to doodle one, a stick figure or something on another page. And I can even take requests, what do you want to see her wearing? Oh, and lastly, the Dean James cover original art is still up there. So if anybody wants to get the original art, you get everything, every possible tier with the book. So you get the sketch, you get the full page sketch, you get the books, you get the variants. So you get it all.
Very nice. Very nice. I feel like if you're gonna start doing stick figures of Madame Gray, I'm gonna have to do her as a hand turkey. That just might have to happen.
Oh yeah.
We might have to do a hand turkey.
Yeah, I mean,
let me know if you want that, people.
I think the challenge with her is that I was really specific about wanting to have somebody dressed in Edwardian, clothing. And for whatever reason, the style for Edwardian style, it's classic. I love it, but it's just very frilly and very, very drapey. So drawing it is a bit of a challenge.
Yeah. It's okay. My hand turkeys are not amazing.
Oh, okay.
So we could, they're all right. I have done a hand turkey flapper before with all of those sequins and fringe. So I feel like we could do a hand turkey flowy Madame Gray. But I'll have to do her wing up, and we'll have to do a slash over with her going to her wing, just like it does with her fingers, because I feel like that'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
Crooked Painter says, not that Victorian trash.
Yeah.
Good brother says, stick figures, hand tracings, same thing. How dare you, sir? They are very different mediums that we both aspire to be greats in. But yeah, this is a cool campaign. It's very straightforward. You got 27 days left, and you're a little over 25% of the way there. So there's still plenty of time for people to go and back, but we want to make sure, obviously, that we get this funded, because this is a really cool concept, and I actually am very eager to see where How to Die goes and how it continues to evolve. Do you have an idea of how many books in this series you want to have?
So the after issue 2, there's going to be an issue. There's going to be an issue 1.5, because one of the characters that we haven't really talked about yet.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the thing about this world is that the powers people develop kind of relates to what they suffered with in life. And there's a
Mm-hmm.
character that's basically a writer insert of me in my 20s. When I was just procrastinating all of the time and I had no direction in life. So his power is he can literally control time. So you'll see in the trailer, he gets his arm cut off and then just kind of puts it back on. But what he's really doing is he is controlling time to a point where he's making his arm be like it once was. So once you
Mm.
have, so 1.5 is going to be a moment. Like it's going to be a single moment in the grand scheme of the universe. But inside that moment is a pocket of time where there's a story to be told. Um, After book 2, there's going to be a book 3 that kind of it wraps things up, but it's going to have 3 different endings. So it's going to be kind of like the movie Clue, where
Yes.
different characters emerge victorious. So you can either get the Madame Gray ending, you can get the Black Ice ending, or you can get the Bishop ending. Um, and all 3 endings are going to create this jump off point where what I'm going to try and do after that is I want to keep telling stories in this world, but I want to start bringing in other writers and see, what they can do in my sandbox. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's really cool. That is a very interesting concept, and something that I think a lot of people would be down for, hearing or experiencing, because it's fun when you have the artist or the writer that you're used to, but it's such a different world when you get to see some of your favorite writers playing in someone else's sandbox, and you get
Mm.
to really kind of experience what that's like. So I think that it'd be a cool experiment, if nothing else.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Well, so I know that we're still talking about getting the book to funded, but do you have any game plan, like once it's funded, with things that you want to do, either stretch goals or anything in the future with this?
Um, that is just something I've always been really, really bad at. And I've found that for me, the better approach is I mean, number one, first and foremost, I want to get this funded. Um, where it goes from there is usually like, I'm not really into creating goals to unlock things. I usually just like surprising people and just giving them things. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
um, just making things so that what I really focused on isn't so much the campaign, but that moment when they open up the box and they find a bunch of goodies inside. Um, Neff did that really well, and I think I
Mm-hmm.
want to just kind of follow his lead and just keep adding updates to the campaign and see where it goes from there. My other
Yeah.
my other big goal is to really hit the campaign circuit hard and try and actually pull that information from people who've done it better than I have, because the whole thing about like perks, I have never done that well. So
Mm-hmm.
I guess what I'm saying is I want to turn this question around on you. Like, what would
Ooh.
you really like to see added?
Um, so I always love to see other, artists and stuff take on certain characters. So it would be cool to maybe see some pinups or something. You know what would be really neat and might be something that could very, very easily be something that you could do. We're coming up on Halloween. People are trying to get into spooky season. What if you ended up holding a fan art contest to
Mm.
have people draw Madame Grey, and then you can throw it on the back cover or on an interior page for whoever wins, and maybe they get a free copy of the book. But that way, the reason that I love fan art contests, there's a lot of reasons. One, I'm an artist, so I love when somebody gives me a prompt and I get to go, okay, this is what I'm doing because this was the prompt I was given. It makes things easier. But another thing that I love about fan art contests is that it's like free publicity for you.
Yeah.
So you get to throw it back on the community that's very talented. This is hitting right around the time that you would want something like this to hit anyway because of spooky season. So you could really lean into this and say, I want to see your guys' interpretation of Madame Grey's break with reality and like what would she show kind of
Mm.
thing and see what people come up with. And Past Master Dan has a good point here. Promo pieces for adverts, things that you could really kind of do that would be really fun. Art of Roy, you're so sweet. How about the obvious RV as a main character cosplay cover? Love you so much. That's so sweet. Um, but there's a lot. Yeah, a popular promo piece is definitely really good. You've got the thing is you have really cool concepts that you could work with,
Yeah.
and it would be really neat to see people drawing either Madame Grey or Black Ice and see how they come up with those characters and what they do with them and where they go.
Mm.
Because that can not only inspire future stories, that could tell you like, hey, if I'm going to end up doing books where I'm going to open it up to other creators in the community, like these are creators that I'm going to want to bookmark to work with later. But it gives people more of a sense of ownership with your campaign, and now people
Mm.
are a lot more invested in seeing it get done. It's getting a lot more promo because people are showing their in process works and all of that kind of stuff out there. It's something that I think could help you get a little bit more traction, because that is the one thing that I will say with all of your campaigns is you put together really awesome stories, really great books, and they get very little traction because they don't get out there.
Mm.
So doing something like this would help push it out there more, and so hopefully more people would see it, want to participate in it, and then more people are going to end up checking out your campaign.
Cool. Cool.
So that would be my suggestion. Also,
Well, I
I love
appreciate it.
patches, but I don't know how you would do a patch for this,
Mm.
because I feel like you could. I mean, you could do a patch for this, but I feel like so much of that is it would get lost in translation. In all honesty, because this is such an interesting kind of gritty
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's not
concept.
like the right aesthetic.
Yeah, I like this is one of the few campaigns that I'm like, maybe not a patch. And like if anyone who knows me knows that that's like heresy for me to say, but I would say probably this one, maybe not a patch. Definitely fan art contest would be fucking amazing because there's so many talented people. Or doing a pinup, collection where if you can find artists that you like that you can afford, and you can go through and hire them and then include a pinup pack. Or whatever, but funding is the most important part. Fan art contests can help you get to funding.
Nice. Yeah, I do have somebody working on a pinup. I can't really. I don't want to. I can't drop a name yet, but there is a
Fair.
pinup in the works.
Yeah, and Art of Roy says suggestion would be throw up some character designs for the fan art contest so the art's correct. That is true. The How to Die cover for Madame Grey is a fantastic resource, because that's how I ended up with a giant flower, despite the fact that I went gothic. We went black for her instead of this white, because you'd be probably not shocked to find that it's hard to find a white frilly off the shoulder Edwardian dress. Um, it's like a month too early for me to find that easily. So we went with, you know, she's got a goth moment going on right now, and it's fine. But yeah, if you do decide that would be a good idea, is to throw up a couple of bits of art to show, you know, you've got the cover, you've got the one that's behind you for Madame Grey that really shows like the break with reality and what she actually looks like, and then going through and doing the same thing if you were going to include Black Ice, showing him with the drips, showing him the detailed without, and so people can really kind of go hog wild with it, because I think that there's a lot of room for a lot of really interesting interpretations, and a lot of people can bring their art style and their spin on it and really come up with something crazy, you know?
Yeah. Do people find it uncouth? Like you had mentioned, like do a fan art contest where people can
Mm-hmm.
get a copy of their book with it in it, with them in it.
Mm-hmm.
Do people find it uncouth to not offer like an actual prize? You know, like a cash prize?
Um, Not offering any prize, I think, is you're not going to get any traction.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I don't think that you have to offer like, oh, first prize is $100. You know, you can. It's entirely up to you, but also saying, hey, first prize, you're going to get printed in the book, and we'll give you a free copy, and, you know, it'll be used in promo and whatever. Um, I don't think that that's a bad way to go about it. It's just that the cash prize does get people
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
more motivated to participate.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, see, I was going to do $10 million, but I think you're right. I think I'll lower it a little bit.
I mean, if you were doing $10 million, this would be funded. So, because I'm trying to get to 2,000, cash prize 10 mil. And I feel like with you, it would be doll hairs, and then people would be like, damn it, I didn't pay attention. Would be hilarious though. You just send 10 million strands of doll hair to
I had
somebody.
no idea what you were talking about. And I was totally lost for about 2 seconds.
Oh, doll hairs. Yeah. You know, hairs.
Oh, I'm stupid. No, I get it now.
You're not stupid. You're not stupid. That made me really
I
happy.
should have clarified. I meant 10 million Zimbabwe dollars.
Oh, okay. It's kind of like when 656 is like, we're doing a fan art contest, and it'll be X amount pesos, and you're like, that's like 5 cents. You're like, yeah,
Yep.
yeah, that's fine. Yeah, look at a cool mill ought to do it. Nice. Cool 5 mil. Cool 5.
Yeah.
I can't even read. I'm blaming the contacts. I can't read because of the contacts. And you know, another thing that would be cool, and probably not on your campaign, but something that I would love to see you do with all of your IPs, is have you get a branded website specifically for you that has a storefront where you can put made to order t-shirts. So like the absolutely gorgeous Eudaimonia like poster that everybody loved, that was super bright colors on this like barren, you know, kind of war-torn field and everything, like that scrawled across a t-shirt would be something that would be very cool to see. Same thing with the, you know, picture that you got in the background. If you got rid of the speech bubble and you just did like a kind of a cutout square and had that image on a t-shirt, would be really cool. There's a lot of things that you could do with a lot of your IPs. The New Harlem just text alone is fantastic, you know. So I would say that would be something that would be cool for you to do kind of in the future, just to promote yourself a little bit more and to promote your items a little bit more, because it's, when it's made to order, it's not necessarily a huge profit margin for you, but it's really great publicity, because people are seeing it more, and people who are real fans can buy it and wear it, and then it goes to cons and all that kind of stuff. Gordon Goodbrother said you should do an Amazon gift certificate. Art of Roy wants German Deutschmarks circa 1945. I feel like that would be very difficult, Roy. I think that that's a collector's item.
I mean, it's still
Taskmaster
better than
wanted
1935.
That's horrible. Past Mr. Dan says he was hoping for Congo dollars, and we have a Playgirl. There's a wild Playgirl in the audience. How you doing, Dan?
He was
Love you
attracted to
tons, hon.
the boobs.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's not the boobs that you see on the cover right there. That's what it was. That and the danger of the face. Oh, they have no value. That's what Art of Roy is saying. Interesting. I guarantee you could get somebody to buy them. I'm sure you could. Yeah, so I think this is a really cool campaign. I think that there's a lot of good that you have here, and I really am interested to see this continue, because I feel like you just keep doing so many interesting things with your IPs, and they're so drastically different from one another. Like, if you put all of your IPs on one rack, people would be like, what kind of like crazy identity crisis is this? And it's like, oh no, this is just Josh. Like, this is his world. This is what he lives in.
Oh wait, we have to in keeping with tradition, when I came on here for How to Die, you were the first person to see the original cover for Noirlum.
Ooh, yes.
When I came on for Noirlum, you were the first person to see the cover for How to Die 2. So I have to in some way preview what's coming up next.
Yes.
Now
this is why y'all come to Red Valkyrie, is for all these exclusives.
that
and to see what Shae did as a horrible cosplay that may or may not have worked.
Oh crap. So sorry, I'm looking for the folder.
You're fine.
My next IP is going to be low, damn you. It's going to be called The Rough and Tumble. And what it's going to be is it's going to be Italian gangsters in the 1880s, so like the very first Italian gangsters versus like aging cowboys. So it's going to be a mix of Peaky Blinders and Unforgiven.
Very nice.
And I don't have it. I'm trying to buy my time.
You're fine. Also, in the chat, if anybody has any questions for Joshua Plack, make sure that you post them up, and so we can ask him while we have the man here. Gosh, I just love that panel. That is just such a cool panel. I literally stared at this the whole time I was trying to paint my face up.
And then, since I always have something simmering in the oven, I just sent you on Twitter a little something something.
No way. Oh my goodness. Can we share this, or do you not want to share this yet?
I mean, we have to keep the tradition alive.
Let me open image, new tab. Doop. All right. This is gorgeous. I love that you do this every time. This is so cool. Look at that. Oh, fantastic. So we've got book 3 for Eudaimonia coming back out. Holy crap. That's the same character from the previous books, isn't it?
Yeah.
The celloist?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
The philosophy of the books and of Eudaimonia lives on, even after everything. When everything turns to dust, Eudaimonia is forever.
Oh wow, that is so cool. That is so cool. Art of Roy says that he really likes the art for How to Die 2. Alexa, shut up. She's such a bitch. I am in the middle of streaming. This woman. Yeah, so Art of Roy is saying that he really likes this art. And I gotta say the art style is really cool. I like the backgrounds that you have that are just block colors for so much of this because
Yeah.
it really, I
Impact.
don't know. Yeah, like it helps set the mood, and I really love kind of that pop art feel. So I love the fact that it's like, oh, we're not worried about anything in the background. Like it's bright yellow or it's a bright orange and she's in silhouette. Like that's all you're getting. And it's like, okay, cool. Like this feels suspenseful. Like it feels kind of like classic comic reading, and it's very cool. I really like seeing it. Um Gordon Goodbrother says, I don't know what art is. I can't say it again because I already told her to shut up. If I say her name again, she'll wake up again.
I mean,
But yeah,
size replacement sucks.
size replacement is horrible. This is in no way
Hasn't said
a
anything the
replacement.
entire show, and then all of a sudden it's somebody's at the front door.
And it was like, yes, okay, well, I'm busy. So unless you're going to go answer the door, you can just shut up. And the best part is we have a green space in between my house and my neighbor's house. And it's like people who have stolen stuff or who have like ding dong ditched and stuff like that. They'll run down that greenway. So it's like a relevant part of having a doorbell cam is knowing who's in that greenway. But the bad thing is everyone in the neighborhood cuts through it. So it just tells me all day long that somebody is in the front door. And I'm like, okay, are they just walking their dog? Because if they're walking their dog, I don't care. But if they're gonna like try to take something off of my porch, then I do care. Look, everyone's saying Sai's better than Alexa. Oh, good, she didn't hear me. I had to look and see. But yeah, no, I think this is really cool. I'm excited to see where this is gonna go. You are still early days, so we've got 27 days left to go. And then you're looking to fulfill this in October. So like, is the book already ready?
Oh, it's
Wow.
2 pages are completely like there's no line art for it. And then 6 pages need colored, and then that's it. I mean, well, we need lettering too, but pretty quick turnaround. So yeah, probably going to be mailing Noirlam Listen out in later this month, and then this will probably be going out in October, November at the latest.
Awesome. That is fantastic. So we're looking at a very short turnaround. Please, everyone, make sure that you go and share this out with all of your friends and your family. I am so happy we were able to get you on. I'm also really happy I was able to pull off this cosplay, especially because I can feel parts of it trying to fall off now. I was like, oh good, it lasted for
the show.
It lasted long enough for the show. But please do not forget to go like, share, and subscribe to Red Valkyrie. Ring that bell. Maybe become a member if it's something that you'd really like to do. And go back. How to Die 2. Please. We are going to take you all out on the official How to Die 2 trailer. But we will see you guys next week. Sai will be coming back finally, and we will all be at Baltimore Comic Con. So if you're going to be anywhere near Baltimore Comic Con, you definitely should hit us up. We should all go hang out. We're going to go and get food at some point.
Mama Roma.
Yeah, something. We're going to do something. It'll be great. And we will see you guys next time. Bye.